Welcome to the Journey to Happy podcast, where you get concrete tools for mindset work, my best tips for lowering your anxiety. And you also hear funny and encouraging stories from me and others who have stories to share. Around here, you'll discover the easy way to stop overthinking, to get rid of self doubt, and finally embrace a calmer, more confident you. I am Olga, your host, a former therapist, a life coach, wife, blissfully an IVF mother, and a coffee lover. I'm excited that you tune in today, and I'm honored to be on the journey with you.
Hi, and welcome to an episode of Journey to Happy. I'm Olga, your coach, and today I'm here to dive into, I think, a very powerful conversation. Now, make sure you save this episode because I'm telling you, this is one of those episodes you're going to want to come back to whenever your faith in self, whenever your personal power feels really insecure and you need a pep talk. This is it. This is your pep talk. First, I want to let you know that the doors are officially now open to becoming the CEO of your own life. You guys, I cannot tell you enough about how much I love this program that I gave birth to a year ago. And so I'm closing the year now with this group of women who have started this program with me. It's a hybrid between group coaching and one-on-one coaching. So once you join the program, you get two phone calls as a group a month and one private, so that we can dive deeper into the things that you know are more personal to you. And so this combination has something really powerful. Women thrive when they feel that they have a community behind their back, when they don't feel alone, when they feel that they're not the only ones thinking this way or struggling with this one thing, when they're accountable to somebody other than their coach. I have seen incredible transformations with the clients that I currently have, to the point that this is how I am most passionate about coaching women right at this moment. I see the benefits, and I just feel that anybody who's not taking part of this group is just missing out big time. Now, I have selected only 12 spots for the group because I like to keep it personal. I really love knowing each of these women at a deeply personal level. And I like the conversations when we're in group to just still feel that everybody has a chance to talk and to be coached and to express themselves. So 12 is a sweet number for me. The doors are now open. The first step is to send an application form, which is on my website. Also, the link is going to be here in the show notes. It's called Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. It's a 12-month program. It costs 700 Canadian a month, and it is obviously a 1-year commitment of minimum 3 hours a month to be talking to me and the group. And it is transformational. So if you are sort of ready to take your personal growth to the next level, if you're done with the excuses and you really want to expand your mental power, your mindset, I encourage you to come this year, 2022. We get started in January, and we're going to start with a virtual retreat on goal setting. So we're going to get really clear on what is it that we want out of 2022 to walk the year so intentionally and powerfully. And so we'll have one of those retreats every quarter. We'll have a book club. We have a lot of good things going on, and you get to touch base with me on a daily basis on our internal chat. So we just get to talk. You get to have pep talks in the morning. And yeah, all in all, a very complete supportive program. And 12 spots are available. So if this is of interest to you, by all means, apply. And once I've reviewed your application, if I think you look like a good fit, our next step is to jump into a connection call so you and I get to connect and talk. And if all goes well, if this program seems to be a good match for you, then you're welcome to sign up. All right, diving into today's conversation. How do we keep motivated? Not when we're on a high, but when we have a moment of self doubt. There are times when you are at your best. You're super confident. You get out of bed in the morning and you're like, I've got this. And you dressed up so carefully, like so intentionally. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do this. So, like, you're so determined to be confident. You know what kind of day you're going to have. And you're just like intentionally saying, I'm going to show up with power, with confidence, with vibrancy. You think you got this. You're feeling that all is possible, that you are possible, and that you can conquer the world. Maybe those are not very often those days that we get that feeling, but you know what I'm talking about. Once you have those days, you're like, yeah, I've got this. I've recently experienced that. I got up, I knew what I was doing during the day, and I knew I wanted to have such a strong, powerful mindset. I carefully selected my sweater, the color of my sweater, the makeup I wore, how I wore my hair, like the jewelry I selected. It was all to speak power, personal confidence. I was giving a talk about confidence, ironically. You see how this is ironic as I will talk about it. And I was feeling all things. I was possible, the world was possible. Oh, I was on a high. Just in the moment, all of that great confidence drift into insecurity. Just like that. Raise your hand if that has ever happened to you. And I'm sharing that this happened to me because I work at being confident on a regular basis. I think for the most part, I am a fairly confident woman. But even then, I want to master this confidence. There are things that still trigger insecurity inside of me. And so I want to show up more confidently. And recently, I experienced this within a second of feeling all powerful. I felt all fraud. Like, who the heck am I to be here? So I'm going about my day. I'm so inspired by my own work. I'm like, yes, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to have this conversation. You guys know I'm a professional speaker, so I get hired to do talks. And this is one of those days. Usually, when I'm going to talk, I do so much mindset work prior to my talk. That morning, I don't do much other than focusing on my mindset, my energy, my vibration. I want to show up as a very present, powerful speaker. Why wouldn't I? And suddenly I read an email. And maybe for you, you get a call or somebody makes a comment. And within seconds, all that power, all that confidence, that high, vibrant energy goes from making you float up in the air like an airplane to feeling like a bag of bricks just landed at the bottom of your belly and is pulling you down. And you try to shake that feeling, but you cannot. It is heavy, physically, it's heavy. You feel like you have sunk in, like your heart is heavy. And then you notice the mind is racing. Have you ever been there? Are you following me? Have you felt that way? Somebody's comment, just maybe even a look, maybe somebody's ideas or opinions about your excited idea. Maybe you're sharing with somebody this great idea or this a great motivation that you had about applying for another job, and somebody looks at you and says like, ah, but it's not a permanent job or something, and you're like, "Womp, womp, womp." And that is all it took for me to no longer feel all power. You begin to question yourself, was I ever really all that good? Were my perceptions of myself even real or accurate? Am I a fraud? How many times do we feel that we are not? One day somebody's going to discover who I really am, and they're going to find out that I don't know anything. I coach some of the most achieved women, and they still feel that way. Imposter syndrome. I felt I was so done with that. And then this happened recently where I'm like, oh my God, am I even intended to coach? Why am I coaching? Just because I tell you an email that I got with a few questions, not a statement saying you're a terrible coach, somebody questioning something. The wheel turns and there is no stopping it. Our minds love drama. So as soon as that door opens, all thoughts of fear and overreaction and catastrophizing go out to play. And once they go out to play, holy Jesus Christ, it takes so long to reel them back in and be like, hey, it's not all play. Do you know what I'm talking about? I so wish I had you in front of me so that some of you could say amen and normalize my feelings. But you know what? I've coached women long enough to know that that feeling that I'm describing is not unique to me. I've coached too many people out of their own self doubt to know it. I've done so much of my own coaching to myself that I understand these feelings are there. What happens when that wheel turns on and starts the overthinking? We immediately seek out reassurance outside of ourselves. Can someone please tell me that I am good enough, that this wasn't so bad, that I can still be confident? We may reach out to a peer, a friend, our husband, and maybe they actually are helpful and they tell you a few words that are empowering, that tell you that yes, you are in fact enough, that what you think happened is not so bad. And you hear them, but you don't feel them. You're still caught up in your drama. I am not good enough. That's what's screaming so loud inside of your mind and your heart, and you can't shake it off. It's incredible to me, as I recently experienced, how that very confident woman within seconds felt so insecure. And you know what? My talk was about confidence. I'm like, oh my God. Whew. It goes to show nothing is permanent. Confidence is a state of being that we've got to work on. But obviously, things can take us out of that state of being, and it's our job to do something about it. When we're in that mental drama that we're not good enough, we might even ignore evidence that is in front of us that says that we are plenty, that we are loved, that we are great at what we do, that we can succeed because we've had and we've got all that evidence in front of us. We don't even see it. Our wisdom might kick in at some point and gently ponder the question: was it what was said that made you this insecure and doubtful? Or was it what you told yourself about what was said that brought you to this place of insecurity? This is something I ask my clients anytime they're taking something personally, anytime they're doubting their own self confidence. I ask them to ask themselves that question: was it what was being said? What was it exactly? And what did you hear? And is there a gap? Because so many times what is said is the plants are green. And what we hear is you're not doing a good job enough of a job keeping up with the plants. So what we hear is often attached to our own already deep-seated insecurities. And sometimes it doesn't take much for those to be triggered and jumped out at us and hit us right in the face. Most time, the second option is what's right. Is not what was said, is what we told ourselves about what was said that brought the insecurity. Is what we hear. So anytime I notice my personal power dancing the insecure dance, I make it a point to reflect, to pause, to pay attention to what I actually heard versus what was said. Recently, when someone asked me a few questions about my programs, somebody who does not know me or my programs, I heard, which is not what was said. Who am I to coach? And because that felt like an accusation from me to me, I devaluated my worth, my power. I went into a moment of dancing with drama. I panic. Really, who am I? And I think it might have to do with the fact that I was about to talk about confidence and then I made it even more complicated in my head. Who am I to be talking about confidence when I'm just experiencing a moment of insecurity? Who am I? Now, I've said this before, so let me repeat it now. We are not allergic to failing. We are allergic to succeeding. So it is often when we're making inspired actions, when we're making inspired decisions and taking action towards our growth, that we ourselves come to sabotage, to question, to bring doubt. Why? Because we forget that we have pure personal power. We think for a moment that our power is circumstantial, but it's not. We think for a moment that that high we were on was just a fake moment. We think for a moment that our personal power is depending on all things going great, but it isn't. We think for a moment that confidence is eternal, but it isn't. So next time you're feeling like I was feeling a few days back, doubtful, questioning your own worth, notice how that's strictly related to you making a stride towards your progress, how you're sabotaging. You can have your own back. This is part of the process too. The process of being highly motivated, highly confident comes with moments of insecurity. And it is our ability to get ourselves out of those moments that keeps building our confidence. You can have moments of doubt and still be confident. You can have moments of doubt in your progress to becoming more confident. So allow yourself the pity party, but do not let that dictate what happens next. Step back into your CEO position, CEO of your own life. Ask yourself, okay, what is this doubt all about? What are these circumstances telling me? Personally, what I decided to do, and it is especially in those moments of doubt, that I reaffirm myself and the world and the universe that my success is inevitable, that what I'm working towards is worthy of all things. So those moments of doubt are actually opportunities to take a vow on my faith yet again, that I believe my goal and my dreams can be possible, even if I'm lacking the evidence at the moment. This is when we get to decide that we know for sure what we want is coming. So we don't need to spend any time asking, so how is it that it's going to come to me? We just know that it is. And those are the moments in which we build our motivation, because we have to face our own inner drama and we need to face it and say, I choose confidence. I see what you're trying to do. These moments of doubt are actually here to build my confidence, because I get to restate to myself primarily that I still believe I can achieve that goal, that I still believe I can be confident, that I believe I am pure, innate power, because I am, because we are all born with that. So the next time you're spending any energy doubting yourself, turn that into a moment of self reflection and reassurance that those moments happen, so that we can, in fact, say, yes, I'm still confident in my goal, in my abilities to get there. Now go out there and show the world who is boss. You got this. You got this.